Good morning. Rabbi Daniel here, Chaplain Daniel here. And I'm out here and I drive some Uber and Lyft when I'm in between my ADOS orders for the military, when I don't got nothing else going on. And so just to get that cash flow going. Sometimes I end up getting some stuff that happens. I end up seeing some stuff that happens, and oftentimes it's very like, for example, this morning I was called to pick up somebody at the emergency room at the hospital after somebody was discharged, right? So I go up there and I see so I'm picking up this woman, and it was her daughter. She had a little baby girl, and her baby girl couldn't breathe last night, and she was speaking in Iraqi dialect, right? Arabic, and I speak some Arabic, of course. I speak standard Arabic. So I was speaking a little bit with the lady but she was weeping and she was crying and she was praying, and that just got me thinking, like, what can I tell this woman right now? Although I speak Arabic, my Arabic's not that great. With I speak Fusha. Iraqi dialect is a little bit different, and being understood is hard sometimes. On the flip side, her English, she understands some English, but how great, I don't know. But I was thinking in my head, how important, like, on Mount Sinai. So the kid had a problem with the breathing. The kid couldn't breathe last night, and so went to the emergency room. And I was thinking, the only thing I started thinking was in the book of Genesis, right? In the Genesis, God formed man and then breathed life into the human being. God breathed life into us, right? And if you go back to that and you go back to the scripture on when God gave the name to Moses, that Yud-Hey name, the Tetragrammaton, and you go back to that name, that name, if you just have the consonants and no vowels to that name, it does sound like the breath, an inhalation of a breath and an exhalation, an in and an out. So it's very powerful, and the teaching from that is that God, He is with each and every one of us, and He is within that breath. And when you're struggling through life, just take a nice deep breath and release the breath, okay? And that's the only thing I could tell her, and then when I was dropping her off, she seemed to, breathe. I told her, breathe, just breathe. And there's some scientific facts that prove how breathing helps calm down the person, how breathing helps the brain, because you're getting more oxygen into the system. So I just thought that was very unique. But also, it's a reminder every day that we need to be praying for other people on a regular basis. And that brings me to the thought here is, oftentimes people will ask a religious leader to pray for them, right? And many times people will forget to pray for the religious leader. So it's important to pray for the leaders, whether they're religious leaders or whatever type of leader they are, right? They bear certain burdens of responsibility. They have stress factors as well. You should be praying for them too. You have a boss, you should be praying for that boss too. Even if you have disagreements, you don't care for the boss or whatever have you, you should still be praying for the boss. Pray for your spiritual leaders too. They are human beings. They're just like everybody else. They need to be prayed for as well. Pray for your soldiers, pray for everybody. But this little message here is, remember to pray for your leaders too, because they're going through things as well as you. Okay, and your spiritual leaders, they'll be praying for you. They pray for you all the time. That's a part of their nature. But sometimes you need to be praying for the spiritual leaders as well. All right? We're all in this thing together. And as the saying goes, nobody gets off this rock alive. Think about it for a second. We're here because God allows us to be here. And when we're done, we return back to God. Think about that. Be blessed. Have a wonderful day. And pray for those around you. And pray for your leaders, and pray for your family, pray for your loved ones, and just pray. It's a way to connect to God. Be blessed.